Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. Now I'm getting my Black Manta from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have popped the link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new figure preview video goes live on the channel. Now, I expected Hot Toys to make absolutely nothing from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Number one, it wasn't received very well, and number two, they don't show a lot of love to the DCEU, and considering this is the last film in that DCEU, yeah, my expectations were below zero. I'm glad, though, that they decided to make this version of Black Manta. I'm still all in on the Mars Toys version, because that first look for him, very tactical, is going to have a place in my collection. But this one is just so much more comic book accurate, having that big, bright silver helmet and the much more sleek diver-style outfit. Those two things alone, I think, make this guy worth picking up, even though he is a little bit bare bones, perhaps. He does come with some hands, the wrinkling and stitching sculpted in looks good, but they are very smooth and there's no dry brushing at all. You could argue that they're diving gloves and he's in the water most of the time, and okay, but I still would have liked to have seen a touch more surface detail. He does come with some swap out lenses or big honkin' red eyes. These are the battle damaged ones. Some extra battle damage on his helmet or other bits and pieces of his armor would have tied the look together a little bit more than just having battle damaged eyes, I reckon. If you're fine with that, then it's there if you want it. I just personally won't be using the battle damage lenses. You do, however, get multiple different versions of the Black Trident. This was kind of like the MacGuffin in the movie. This is what Black Manta obtained in a lost part of Atlantis, and it used to be owned by Kordax. And he also possessed the Trident and spoke to Black Manta so that he could be reborn. It was a whole thing. Go and watch the movie, or don't, because a lot of people didn't like it. I personally had a ton of fun with it. This version of the Trident is black with some silver dry brushing all over it, and you can split it in two. The best part about being able to do that is when you do break it in half, it genuinely looks like it's broken. It's got this little jaggedy edge to it. It's not just a straight cut across. Very clever, Hot Toys. The display base, quite straightforward, literally just says Black Manta for the nameplate, and then you have an image of the Black Trident up on top. He doesn't look like he has a split-cut boot design, but the boots themselves do look like they're made out of an almost synthetic rubbery material. And I love the extra detail on the sole because these are diving-style boots. You want to have a little bit more grip as you're stomping around the bottom of the ocean. Interestingly enough, in the announcement post for Black Manta, Hot Toys specifically made mention of posability, and they do not do that very often because the whole reason for being for Hot Toys is accuracy. Usually articulation comes in second place with these 1/6 scale figures. Whether you like that or not, that's entirely up to you. But this time, Hot Toys specifically said that the material they decided to go with was used to maximize articulation. That's a good thing. You want to have this guy in dynamic poses. However, it does look like a pretty fragile material, I'm not gonna lie. It's not pleather, so that's a win for those wondering if this is a pleather-style material. No, it isn't. It's more along the lines of the fabric that we saw them use with the modern suit for the Keaton figure. They also mentioned posability as a plus with that guy. So that should, fingers crossed, tell you that they are committed to giving us better articulation, but the one thing that they didn't mention was durability. And that's the one thing that I want them to focus on. Not so much articulation, but being able to do all of the crazy poses and have it last. In a perfect world, we would have both of those things. It also looks like they've almost embossed the armor, the muscle structure, into that rubbery material. You can also see the striations on the pecs, which is just a really interesting little detail. There is stitching everywhere because this is made of multiple pieces of fabric. I'm okay with that because the stitching is small enough that it does look to be in scale for 1/6 scale. It's not like you have these massive stitch lines across the entire thing. And it's in places where you'd expect there to be cuts anyway. You have these little ports down his sides and also up there on his shoulders. The material does come across maybe a touch boring, but when you light it correctly, in a dynamic pose, if he can truly last in those poses, we'll only know when we get this guy or Keaton Batman in person, I reckon he's going to more than make up for just the all-straight black outfit. They could have perhaps, though, added some speckling or dry brushing on the surface of the suit just to give us some more surface detail and visual interest. Okay, so it's time to talk about the helmet, which for me is the pièce de résistance here. This helmet is gorgeous. It looked awesome in the movie, and it translates really well to 6 scale, having this big, chonky head with the vibrant red eyes. All of that works for me. It also has a light up feature, and the same thing with the backpack, or the jetpack, or the swimming thruster pack. I don't know what you'd call it. Either way, it lights up. I did scour Hot Toys' official announcement post and their website, and also some retailers that have this guy listed, but I couldn't tell if it was USB powered or not. I'm hoping it is, but they do not mention USB specifically. Also, you can see the little blade on his gauntlet, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that comes out. It is definitely supposed to, and you can absolutely see it there. You can almost see where the top piece would slide forward and the blade would come out, but they never made mention of that in the announcement post either, so right now I'm going to say that it doesn't come out. You do have a wristwatch or a diving watch on the other side. Now, this is the alternative version of the Trident. It's the illuminated, powered up one. I love this. It adds a pop of green, and it actually looks like it's glowing. It's got these brighter spots in certain areas that almost look like there's light pulsating through it. It doesn't light up. There aren't any UV lights on this thing shining down on it. It is just the way it's been cast and painted with some brighter bits of plastic on the inside to give us the illusion of it glowing. And I would like if Hot Toys tried this sort of thing more often, maybe even for lightsabers. You can cast it out of translucent blue, but pop a white core through the middle, and then it will look like a real frickin' lightsaber, and it would look like it's illuminated. Maybe this is them just trying it out. Fingers crossed that's the case, because they definitely nailed it. Now, in the promo pics, the silver looked quite matte, unfortunately, nowhere near as shiny as it was in the film. At Secret Base, it does look shiny like it was in the movie. It's proper bright chrome, and you've also got washes in the crevices, got a little bit of dirt and grime in certain areas, and they've even hit those hoses that connect to his backpack from his helmet with that same bright shiny silver. Now, this is specifically the LED light up function because unfortunately they didn't have him on a turntable or anything, so we couldn't get shots of his backpack. That's what it looks like. I wish we could see it more often because it's tucked around the back. You're not necessarily going to be able to look at it unless you're displaying a Black Manta from behind, which would be a darn shame because look at those eyes. They are massive, they're lit up, they're vibrant, and you also have that almost bee or fly or mosquito texture behind the lenses. They just add so much more depth to the helmet because they are separate inset pieces and they have that glow coming from within them. And see that little shadow around the edge? Like I said, so much depth. It makes it look like there is some room behind this helmet. Room for what, you might ask? Well, a Yahya Abdul Mateen II head sculpt would have been bloody brilliant. But they decided not to give us an unhelmeted head sculpt. Which is freaking ridiculous. Quite frankly, this guy doesn't come with a ton of stuff. You get 2 tridents and some hands. That's it, unfortunately. Oh, and the swap out lenses. An unhelmeted head sculpt should have been included. We didn't get a Black Manta the first time from the first film. We finally get one, and we still don't have an unhelmeted head sculpt. I get it, they were trying to save on licensing perhaps. They didn't want to license his likeness because they're not going to use it again in the future. Okay, I think they should have gone out with a bang. This is potentially their last DCEU figure ever, unless they do 2.0s of older characters. So why not give us an unhelmeted head sculpt? They decided not to do it. I think that's just unforgivable, but I love the look of this guy, so I am 100% all in. I am getting him. The question is, though, at the time of filming this video, they haven't announced an Aquaman, and that would be very strange. You can't announce the villain from an Aquaman movie and not have an Aquaman. At least, I wouldn't think so. So, fingers crossed they actually do make Arthur as well. And Orm would be awesome. Now, I'm getting my Black Manta from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research. Make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have popped the link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.